What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Jermaine, with another episode of the Throwback Podcast Show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This your man Drake back with another episode of the Drake Mac Podcast Show. Coming to you live. It's a little later on a Saturday, talking about coming to America. And honestly, guys, this is not really going to be long. Well, it depends on what you say by long. But anyway, this is just my thoughts on Coming to America, the remake. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not as bad as what people seem, but it's really not that good. I mean, it's okay. Put it more like that. It's not something that I will watch over and over and over again, but it's literally a movie that to me is just okay. So let me kind of give you my thoughts. I'm gonna give you the things that I thought good about this movie, and I'm gonna have to bring up some of the cast because and some of the people who actually brought a little bit of heart to the movie. I want to kind of like highlight on that. I just don't want to really just sit here and just bag on the movie because there's certain things that I'm going to talk about. This is going to sound like it's bagging on the movie, but honestly, it's just parts of the movie that just missed the mark. But let me just go with like some of the stuff that I actually really liked about the movie. The highlight for me, and I don't know about this for you, but the highlight of this whole entire movie for me was Trevor Noah being the newscaster with that mustache. And the funny part is he's literally the only African, I say main or even, side character that's besides Michael Blackson, two actually African people in this movie, Michael Blackson and Trevor Noah. And Trevor Noah is completely hilarious. Every time he popped on screen with this stupid mustache, I just busted out laughing. I believe the daughter, and I want to get to her. So let me just give you the synopsis, kind of like of the actual movie, and then I'm gonna kind of give you the good. Let me just kind of go into the synopsis. So the synopsis is that during the adventures of the original Coming to America, when it was doing all the nightclub scenes and stuff like that, Prince Hakeem had a one-night stand with a lady. He ended up having a son he never knew about because, again, that whole one night, the scene where they go into each and every club in Queens and stuff like that and hang out and meet every different type of woman. This particular woman wasn't even in none of the scenes. It's something that they added for the movie. She ended up having a son. 30 years later, it's on his 30th birthday. Colonel EZ, which is the son of the original Colonel EZ from the actual first one, which I'm going to talk about that too, which is played by Wesley Snipes. He makes a deal. If you marry my daughter, or if you have a son, they can marry my daughter. You could be able to take the heir because it's Zamunda. A woman cannot be queen and be able to run Zamunda. So he goes out and finds out that he has a son who was told by his dad. His dad knew about it. So his whole mission is to go and get his son, which they kept calling the bastard son. What's up, Tisha? He kept calling him a bastard son like over and over again, to bring him back to Zamunda to make him the new heir of Zamunda, so the lineage can goes on. So they go through their own wacky adventures to go back to Zamunda with the son, his mother, and try to make this thing work of him being the king of Zamunda. But again, or the new prince or the new heir of Zamunda. So again, some of the funny, it was certain funny things that I like. Like I said, Trevor Noah's mustache and just him. I love Trevor Noah. Trevor Noah is one of the funniest dudes in Hollywood. So he was really hilarious. The girl, I believe her name is Mika. She was the daughter. She was the person who was supposed to be the princess that was supposed to take over. She was groomed for her. She stood out. She just pops on screen. Honestly, Marvel, if you're looking for probably the next Storm, I'm just kind of throwing stuff out here. I kind of wish she was Riri Williams too, but they already cast Riri Williams. But I think her name is Kiki Lane. If you're looking for the next Storm for the MCU, you gotta go get home. Go get Kiki Lane, Marvel. I'm telling you, she needs to be in a Marvel movie. She was absolutely outstanding throughout the actual movie. Let me see. Geez, that's what's sad about this kind of movie is that it wasn't really a lot of like standout characters. The woman who was the barber, who was I think she was played Marimbe. Her name is Namzamu. But my bad. She's another African uh um actress participating in this movie. I think it's Mbata. She was outstanding. She kind of popped on screen too. Um, Other than that, that was it. I'm sorry. That was it. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you. Um, I'm gonna tell you a little bit. What made the original Coming to America so good was the simple fact that the heart of the movie was a love story. That's the heart of all the comedy was second place, but the heart of the movie was Prince Hakeem didn't want to go with tradition. He wanted to make his own path and found love his own way. In this particular story, it's like that, but they try to force jokes on you. And if you notice in the original Coming to America, a lot of the jokes is because it's like a fish out of water type of thing. So you have Prince Hakeem who comes over to America to find his bride. He goes to Queens when Queens was Queens, when Queens was dirty, filthy, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. In his adventures being a prince, not knowing how it feels to be an American and especially a poor American at that, and what he learns throughout the way through different characters, from the barbershop characters and stuff like that, to him working in McDowell's and stuff like that. So, that was the heart of the movie. It's like him trying to find himself, and also in the midst of that, trying to pursue love. And in this one, I mean, James Amos as Cleo McDowell is still there. They have a lot of the original characters and stuff like that make a comeback. The guys in the Mighty Shop is still there, but honestly, a lot of the jokes just fell flat. It was sometimes if you watching this, you're like, what? Like you want to like that kind of doesn't make any sense. Like the jokes, like Amani Aziz, from the first movie, still doing the ooh, ooh, ooh thing. Like, dude, 30 years later, like, come on. Wesley Snipes is pretty cool as Colonel EZ, as a new version of General EZ. But dude, it was kind of corny. And I think that's what, like, there's certain parts, like when you start diving into the love element of this, that is kind of what gets you. And I haven't even mentioned Jermaine Fowler's Lavelle Johnson. I haven't even mentioned him yet, because honestly, they could have recast that dude. Hell, I could have been Prince Hakeem's son. That's how flat dude was in the movie. Dude, it was almost like he was trying to play a Queen's character, like a character from New York. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't work. And I'm sorry, it just didn't work. Like his whole journey about him being turned 30 years old, he gets to meet his father for the first time, and he's kind of in and out of jobs. He's getting influenced by his uncle. His uncle was played by Tracy Morgan. Not gonna lie. I mean, Tracy Morgan is Tracy Morgan. It's almost like people were playing characters as kind of themselves. His mom was His mom was played by Leslie Jones, and this is honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's kind of I don't want to say it's forgettable because, like I said, what popped on the scene is like his daughter, the oldest daughter popped on screen for me, which was Mika, who was played by Kiki Lane. The second daughter was okay. She was kind of, they were just secondary characters, but Mika as a character, as a strong Black woman saying that I could be able to lead, some of her choreographed fight scenes was pretty good. I can't say all of it was good. She was good. Everything around her was okay, but she was good. She just, like I said, you know what I'm saying? Her beauty, her acting, her accent, everything just popped on screen. Kiki Lane has to be in the MCU somewhere. Kevin Feige, go get her. That's a waste. She was wasted in this movie. Absolutely wasted in this movie. So let me get to Jermaine Fowler as Lavelle in this movie. I didn't like him. I'm sorry. I didn't like the way they wrote his character. The plot of this movie is okay. Now it's not necessarily the plot; it's the writing. The plot is predictable. The plot is almost like a copy and paste of the original with some flavor, with some 2021 flavor, I guess. But at the same time, the writing was flat for him. His acting was flat. I'm gonna give you a prime example. So he's going to go get a job, and Colin Jost from SNL, which I love. Colin Jost from SNL is there, and he's in a job interview and stuff like that. And Colin Jost is supposed to be, kind of like the uppity white kid who got handed everything or whatever, and is looking down upon this dude. And I kind of hate that type of forced undertone of prejudice or racism or whatever. I don't know how long I had this up. I didn't like that. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't like the force racism, the forced prejudice or whatever. It didn't feel organic. The writing didn't feel organic. And then his comeback was like, it's something you would never say to an employee. Like, good God, you know what I'm saying? That part, it was terrible. Him being a ticket scalper, like I didn't get a chance to like understand him like I did with Prince Akeem, Lisa. Where's Patrice at? Where's my girl Patrice? I used to always say my little cousin looked just like Patrice growing up, and I don't care if she's watching this, she does. She still does. But where's my girl Patrice? Patrice wasn't there. Like, okay, so you had a journey with Akeem and kind of getting to know these characters and the reason why, you know what I'm saying? And the way that the jokes were written then was perfect. It was almost like it was lightning in the bottle. With this, it was like the writing was like they were trying to write the jokes instead of letting the jokes be organic. They wrote the character as a stereotype. I don't care what nobody says. He's a stereotypical Black dude in the hood with a ghetto mama who was a hoe back in her day, was trying to give it to everybody because that's what she says in the movie. Like, oh my God, this is almost cringeworthy. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, dude, you don't have. Let me just say, you don't have to do that. You can make it subtle, but you don't have to do that for laughs. Like, what audience are you catering to? Are you catering to a universal audience? Or are you catering? Because all Black people don't act like that. We do know Black people that act like that, but what audience are you catering to? You know what I'm saying? Like every Black person is not raunchy. You could have made the lead character Lavelle, for me, if he's the lead or he's the secondary lead to this character next to Akeem in his journey, then why not write him compelling? Like, yo, I'm just trying to get a regular job. Have him work at McDonald's or something like that. Like, dude, this is all I can do right now, man. I'm sick of this job. I'm trying to do better. Give him an arc that makes sense. So when he meets the love of his life. He meets the woman. Then it's more, I understand your journey because I've been there too. Not just as a ticket scalper. It's just not, that's not the only thing for a black dude. It's almost like that Whack Arnold's skit from the Chappelle show. Like, is this the only thing that a dude in the hood can get? Like, this is to save America. You know what I'm saying? So that was the only that was horrible. Now to counter that, which my man Jericho, my man Jay Young, he said the best thing about the movie was all the beautiful women. Other than that, it was okay, and I will agree with you on that. Now his love interest in the movie Marimbe was, she, like I said, she popped on screen. You can tell through her acting it wasn't for, it's almost like dude was kind of forced to kind of be this funny type of character, and he's not funny. He's not, something about him, it's just I didn't connect to the character. But with Marimbe, I actually did, and I would give the writing this. They wrote the women completely awesome. I would give them kudos on that, on the writing of the women, from Lisa snapping on Akeem saying you forgot who you was with or who you were, you know what I mean, to Marimbe and her story and telling the backstory of Akeem and stuff like that, so Lavelle can actually know who his father was and the reason why he even went to America in the first place, to the young ladies being intelligent and stuff like that. I give the movie complete props on y'all wrote those women excellent. I mean, even Big Les's character, you know, I think she played Mary in the movie as his mother, Leslie Jones. You know, she was okay. You know what I'm saying? The movie, she's just playing what Leslie normally plays. You know what I'm saying? And Morris, I'm not being too hard on a movie because I would say this: if this movie would have came out in 2010 or 2011 with the same elements as what they did now, I would think it would be better, because now, you know, you wait 30 years, a lot of the characters, I don't know if I never looked to see if Marge Sinclair was actually passed away, but she's passed away in the movie. I don't know if she's passed away in real life. I'm actually about to look that up. Yeah, she died in 1995. So I didn't even know that. This is just telling me where I've been since 1995. But Madge Sinclair, I think I said Marge Sinclair, but Madge Sinclair. So, you know, she's passed on. The girl who played Patrice, again, like I said, she wasn't there. Like I said, they wrote the women well. When it came to the men, it was kind of, I think, even Eddie's performance, from as excellent as, I would say this, as excellent, and when I say excellent as he was as Dolomite, he was nowhere close in that zone in this movie. He was, I guess, it was trying to make him like his father, but the whole arc of the original movie was he was supposed to be different and to bring a change. And like Matt Sinclair said in the movie, you are the king. Remember, you're the king. So aren't you supposed to make it, you know what I'm saying, the difference in the movie? I mean, you know, for Zamunda, you know what I'm saying? So for him not to take those same type of things with him, I guess, you know, you start to be like your parents in old age and stuff like that. So I'm not going to take that away from him. But I was kind of thrown off. It kind of threw me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And again, kudos to the writing for the women to get him in line and to get him straight, to have him remember himself. Lisa was really good in the movie. I'm glad she never lost her Queen's way. No pun intended, but for her being from Queens, you know what I'm saying, and kind of being that queen, and then she started to dip back into kind of her element. Let me see. By Jericho said, "My boy Wesley Snipes." He as a caricature of Colonel EZ, because again, I think we're coming to see, the thing is about Coming to America was basically like our version of Black Panther before the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Without the vibranium and all that, to just see an African kingdom being beautiful. It wasn't a caricature of what Black culture was supposed to be. It was like showing this beautiful, beautiful scenery of Zamunda, and seeing all these African people, and seeing how they lived, and different things like that. That was the heart of the movie. We got to see beautiful things. We got to see Babar, which I'm glad Babar made a comeback. But you saw elephants, you saw all these giraffes, but you see this beautiful scenery, this castle, and all of this. And no one was a caricature of themselves. That's what made you see African pride, beauty, strong. And in this movie, you seen African pride, beautiful, but only for a particular type of people. Colonel EZ to come in with no pimp walking and and all this other goofy stuff that they were trying to throw in there to make it funny. You don't have to make it funny. It should be organically funny. Certain things should just be funny. Arsenio Hall was okay in the movie, but I think his character as the wise old I call him quote unquote witch doctor, was kind of funny in the movie. Randy Watson made a comeback. The two chicks, Peaches. My name is Peaches, and I'm the best. They made a comeback. They look like Peaches now. Like they ate more than Peaches. That's not right. Bad Dre. That's not right. That's not right. Morgan Freeman narrates the funeral of King Jaffe Joffer before he dies, and then he dies like that stuff is it was funny, but it wasn't, because it was like, this doesn't make sense. That's just me. It didn't make sense. Morris, I'm gonna read your comment. It says Eddie arc was subtle shadow of life. The more we try to differentiate from our parents, we end up being more like them without trying. We need that reminder of promises and responsibilities that responsibilities we hold dear. I ain't gonna mess you up for the thing, but yeah, I would agree with you on that. And he also said eating more peaches, and he said I think Netflix would have given them a larger budget, probably, but I don't think that would stop the right. I believe you could have used that same plot, copy and paste from the original, and still made it funny. Literally the same plot. Have him come to Africa like, I want to find my dad, and have them be like, son, I'm sorry, but we kind of held this from you. We didn't really believe it, but your dad was an African prince. And have him come over, and then the turmoil happens with Colonel EZ, and you have to have him be the to kind of be the savior of Zamunda, but still have him fall in love, and still have his arc go along, him being in Africa, being the fish out of water, learning African culture and Zamundan culture and different things like that, like they tried to do, but make it from his side, like he is going to Africa. You see what I mean? To find his dad, because he found out that, his dad is this African prince that he never knew about, and have the turmoil go with that, and then still make it funny. You could still, you could have still had your Randy Watsons. You still could have had your Peaches. You know what I'm saying? The Peaches twins that ate more peaches than they should have. You could have still had, the African witch. You still had Trevor Noah being funny. You could have still had that, but if you don't incorporate that thing to kind of lead into his arc, you could have still had Prince Hakeem, now be king and try to live up to his father's standards, but still try to find the error in his father's ways along with his son in his journey. You could have still had that. You could have still made it more about his daughter, trying to be a queen and to be a strong political diplomatic queen so she could be able to run. All those elements could have happened. if they literally would have copied and pasted the original movie, but from the opposite side, having him coming to find his father, having him still all the turmoil, not him going back to Queens, having him come to Zamunda. You know what I'm saying? Scrape up enough money. I'm going to go find my dad. And there you go. There's your movie. A lot of heart still could have been in the movie because the underlying tone. That's why I don't bash this movie so much. And I'm sorry. Akbar said just finished watching the movie just a few minutes ago. It all seemed forced, not natural. What you think? That's basically what I'm saying. It could have been more natural. So if it's more natural, if it's naturally funny, if we're looking at this movie, we're like, man, this is naturally funny. I'm laughing because I kind of understand the character. You know what I'm saying? I understand kind of where their arc is, and I understand, you know what I'm saying, why he took this journey, why it's not forced, and why he's just not a pawn in the game or whatever. All that was just forced stuff down the throat to try to make you laugh. And you had to do that. The first movie didn't do that. First movie just had the fish out of water elements. And, you know, him coming from royalty and being pampered to being a regular guy and trying to find out being a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, there's heart in this movie. It's just overshadowed by jokes, forced jokes. And that's what makes it funny, but doesn't make it funny. It's almost like a sketch comedy show where you want to laugh, but you like, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know what I mean? But yeah. So if I was to rate this movie, yes. Yes. The cameos. I'm not going to lie. Way too many cameos for this movie. No, I would say this. I would say this. Not way too many cameos. The cameos that was used was not used properly. Having Gladys Knight sing and what she was saying in Midnight in Zamunda or whatever, and what she was saying just wasn't funny. It just wasn't. Morgan Freeman was fun. I'm not gonna lie. Morgan Freeman was funny in what he was saying. That was funny. Even using what was this? Like I said, Trevor Noah was funny. Trevor, his cameo surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. His cameo surprised. That was the funniest part. I laughed out loud every time I seen Trevor Noah in that mustache. That mustache was hilarious. James Earl Jones, I kind of felt like even they wrote him as a character of himself, not the king that he was in the 1989 movie. Just, yeah. But I love James Earl Jones. Like I said, Wesley Snipes, for what they had, he was good. Not gonna lie, he was very entertaining. And I honestly thought, because when him and the daughter had that kind of square off, I thought that, you know, he was going to use his black belt, you know what I'm saying, all of that technique with it. And I just noticed this. I did this whole entire thing without my banner, without my overlay. My bad, y'all, for everybody watching on YouTube too. I thought he was, you know, they was actually going to get down, but you know, they kind of didn't. I kind of wish, you know, but they were trying to make it funny, and they were trying to show her being strong, and it wouldn't have been fair if Blade would have been beating the brakes off of this girl. That, what's her name again? Kiki Lane needs to be Storm. I put this on everything. The beauty that she has, her elegance, her grace, that Storm. James said, I hate that movie. Yuck. Say, I hate that movie. Yuck. Okay, who was my favorite character in the movie? My favorite character in the movie, honestly, was the young lady from Desmond, the groomsman, Marimbe. She was my favorite character out of the whole movie. She was literally my favorite character. Not even gonna lie to you, because I understood her arc. Even as small as they made it, her being a barber, beautician, her having a dream to have her own shop, but it's forbidden in Zamunda for women to even own any shops there. And it was like she was falling in love with him. You know what I'm saying? And they kind of like forced them together, but he was falling in love. I mean, she was falling in love with him. And it was like her story to him, like, this is just what I want. And then okay. All right. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tiana Taylor, y'all. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy, y'all. I ain't got no water. I ain't got no water. Tiana Taylor, y'all. I don't care how insignificant her role was. Then they made her sing her own song in the movie. But Tiana Taylor, y'all. Whew. Whew. Ooh, Tiana Taylor, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Tiana Taylor, y'all. Lord! All right. Yeah. That's all I gotta say is yeah. Let me see. Michael Blackson was funny. Michael Blackson was funny. The Dikembe Mutombo, I'm not gonna lie, because when he said Dikembe and he stood up and was actually Dikembe Mutombo, that was funny. And he was like, no. that was funny. I'm not gonna lie. I like that. Let me see. Rotimi. I forgot where I see Rotimi from. He was wasted. Michael Blackson was funny. Louis Anderson reprised his role, but being in Zamunda this time as the manager of McDowell's, that was a callback. That was pretty good. Rick Ross. I know that they used Rick Ross's house for this movie, but yeah, they did put too much into it. Yes, it was Michael Blackson was funny. Power. The kid from Power. Okay, yeah. I think he was wasted. Rick Ross can't do an African accent. Never put him in another movie again, unless he's playing himself. Let me see. David Langell, who was the Lyft driver, he was actually just in WandaVision. Which, if you guys are wondering about my WandaVision episode 9 breakdown and review, that's going to be on Monday. I just really wanted to make sure that I get this Coming to America while it's still fresh, since I didn't have to work today. Lunell was I love some Lunell, and Lunell was wasted. Tracy Morgan was funny. I don't think, honestly, and I hate to say this, and y'all probably gonna kill me in the comment section for this, Arsenio Hall is not funny anymore. He was funny. Let me say this. He was funny as the witch doctor guy. He kind of looked like Rafiki, like a real life Rafiki, but man, he's not funny anymore. Yeah, he wasn't funny anymore. He was okay. Like I said, I think it was the writing. I don't even want to say it was him. I think it was the writing. Ekbar said, my wife was saying it would have been nice to have some of the main cast from Empire. It was already too much in this movie anyway. So nah, I don't think the cast from Empire should have been in there. I'm gonna give this movie 5 out of 10, a score of 5 out of 10. Because I did see a lot of heart in the movie, and the heart came from the women. The women actually made the movie. No joke. The women made the movie in this. Eddie was not at his best. Eddie was not at his best in this movie. And I think that's what made me mad. Because when I seen Dolomite on Netflix, I could watch that. I watched that movie like 4 or 5 times. Dolomite was excellent. Him as a kid and coming to America, especially when he's like, this is my bastard son, Lavelle. And this is my daughter, and this is my bastard son, Lavelle. Like, dude, that's not even funny. That's not funny. Like, it was funny the first time you said it, but you kept beating the horse and it wasn't funny. It needed some better writing. I think a more simplistic plot and better writing would have made this better. Better writing for the other characters, for the Akeem character and the Lavelle character. I think better writing would have been right. Way too many forced cameos for jokes. I like the In Vogue and Salt and Pepper thing. You know what I'm saying? But the Peaches thing, could have threw that out the window. We didn't want to see, I didn't need to see them, especially since they ate the orchard. I need I need to see it. Randy Watson was I love some Randy Watson. Randy Watson was funny, but 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Would I watch it again? Possibly. Just on a chill night. Like if I didn't have nothing else to watch, I would watch it. But I would give it a 5 out of 10. And that's because I remember going to go see the original movie in theaters as a kid. Then my auntie having the bootleg. Having the bootleg. And I would say it's worth watching if you just kind of like want a movie to kind of like, you know, how can I say this? It's the kind of movie where if you just want to watch something, you want to just kind of have fun and kind of sit back like a popcorn flick, and you're not trying to take it too seriously. It's almost like the Expendable movies. The Expendable movies is one of those movies you can't think too hard, because when you start thinking a little too hard about it, you're like, what the hell is this? So if you just want a good mindless movie that you can sit back, have a, it's got some jokes in it. It does have some jokes. It's not all the jokes are flat. It's a good majority for me because I was a fan of the original movie. You know what I mean? It kind of like that's a place in my heart. Like Coming to America was really literally one of the first movies I remember going to go see in the movie theater, getting my eyes covered when in the bathtub scene, which they did the scene this time, but they did it for the women. You know what I'm saying? So I give it that, so, other than that, I enjoyed it. I would still watch Coming to America over Wonder Woman 1984. I will tell you that. And that's all I have to say about that. So at the end of this, I'll give it 5 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Good flick. You know what I'm saying? Eat some, if you want to just laugh and just be mindless for a minute, good movie. If you're smoking, maybe I should have been high when I watched this. It probably would have been better. That's all I got to say. But other than that, it was cool. So is it worth watching? Yes. Akbar said Terrence Howard would have been better role instead of Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes was, for the role that he had in the character that he was playing, it was fine with me. I didn't have a problem with him. I still like, that he had a good African accent, but Wesley Snipes is an excellent actor to me. He's one of my favorites, you know what I'm saying, growing up. So 3 out of 10 from Jericho. Akbar said, I hope the Mortal Kombat movie ain't trash on Amazon Prime next month. That's actually coming to HBO Max next month. And that is supposed to be a movie that's supposed to be in a movie theater. So I don't see that being trash. Mortal Kombat Annihilation is trash. I've seen that being actually probably a pretty good movie. Morris put, I think Black Panther skewed our overall perception of Coming to America. African inspired movie like Black Panther sets apart streams too. To me, as a person who just loves watching movies, I would counter that and say no. In my eyes, I would counter that and say no. Black Panther, for one, comic book. I'm into comic books. So I take the comic book element and then I look at it because it's a comic book movie. So I say, okay, what comic book elements does it have besides all the African stuff that they're trying to lay out as a beautiful foretelling and affirmation of African culture from all sides. So that's not it. I'm literally comparing this to the original movie, and that's not even fair, because the original movie, before there was a Black Panther, show Africa in another light. It's almost like Do You Remember the Time video, and when you look at Egypt and then you see a movie like Gods of Egypt, and you're like, I'd rather watch Michael Jackson Do You Remember the Time if I want to see real Egypt, not this crap. You see what I mean? So that's it. It's probably for other people, but for me, that wasn't really it. I was comparing it to the first movie because they show a lot of elements from the first movie. So that's what I'm comparing it to. And that's why it doesn't hold as well as it should. Let me see. Let me get to the other. It's a movie you could put on and walk around the house, look at it here and there, and listen to the dialogue. And I could even say that. I mean, for me, I can sit down and still watch it if I'm just chilling. I ain't got nothing else to really watch right now. WandaVision, like I said, WandaVision episode 9 breakdown and review, and I'm gonna review the whole entire season of WandaVision on Monday. So make sure you guys are looking out for that. I would just say it's one of those movies I can just pop on if I just really want some mindless entertainment for just a second. It's not as bad as a Tyler Perry movie. That's not right. As it was taped to Tyler Perry Studios, that's not right. Let me see. Akbar, do you feel like they left anything out? I think they put too much in. I think what they left out, I'm gonna tell you the true thing that they left out. The love story. Coming to America, the original version was a love story that had comedy elements. And if they would have stuck to just the love story, I think it would have been way better than what they put out. And again, it's an Amazon Prime movie. If you got Amazon Prime, you're watching it for free. So you get what you get, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I'm checking out all your and Tyler Perry catches a stray. I'm not gonna do that to Tyler Perry. It's Tyler Perry, man. All I'm saying is when you get characters, stop making them stereotypes and stop using bad wigs. Other than that, like I said, I can enjoy watching it for what it is. I can't give it the same push as I did the original. That's it. That's really all it is. I just can't give it the it wasn't just that that original Coming to America, man. It's just it got me. It got me, man. And that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So, but yeah. Other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else I kind of left out of the review. I still Vanessa Bell Calloway. Oh yeah. Like I said, in Jericho alluded to this earlier. The women in this movie is absolutely gorgeous. Vanessa Bell Calloway still looks amazing. Even though they had her being stupid, she still looks amazing. They didn't objectify women in here, but but the roles were reversed. So he said, I heard some of the scenes were at Rick Ross's crib in Georgia. And yes, they filmed a lot. The actual home that they filmed that at, that's Rick Ross's house. So kudos to Rick Ross. I wish I had that kind of bread, but kudos to Rick Ross. The young lady Achille Love was pretty cute in the movie too. That was the young princess, the youngest of the daughters. Other than that, I ain't got really nothing else. And I ain't about to hold y'all long. Make sure you guys are checking out the WandaVision complete breakdown, especially breakdown on episode 9, post-credit scenes, all that. Spoilers. Tiana Taylor, y'all. Oh my Lord, have mercy. Tiana Taylor, y'all. Man, Tiana Taylor. And they just did not. They didn't use her. I guess they used her for what she was, and she was an algorithm of Princess Imani from the first one. But Tiana Taylor, y'all. Jesus. But anyway, let me see. Was the jokes more corny than hilarious? Some of the jokes were more forced. Not necessarily corny. There were forced jokes. Like when you're trying to be funny. Like when you're trying to roast somebody and you ain't really that good, so you try to force a joke and then you laugh at it, but everybody like, what? Kind of like that. Jokes were 1999, bro. I wouldn't even say 1999. If this would have came out, if this was 20 years later, little bit more different. But again, only thing I was mad at is that I couldn't find out where Patrice McDowell was. and I wanted to see Patrice McDowell, but didn't get to see her, so it was all good. But anyway, I'm about to let you guys go, man. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. If you guys are fans of the show and you want to continue to continue this content, make sure you guys are you can donate to my Cash App. I'm actually probably going to here soon. I'm going to start moving a lot of my content over to Patreon, so you guys can actually subscribe to my Patreon. That is coming soon, probably looking at about April or early May, when I start moving all my content. When I tell you, if you want to watch the content, you're going to be able to watch it on YouTube and Patreon.com, because this stuff is not cheap. And every time you make a video, the stuff is not cheap. So let me get to this last one, man. I hope the next Friday sequel to Ice Cube wants to remake ain't like this. I hope so. I hope so. I mean, like I say, it's not horrible. It's not like, oh my God, like Wonder Woman 1984. It's not horrible. I did not like Wonder Woman 1984 because, again, it was forced to me. To me, I didn't like it. But you know, as long as it's not forced, I'm good with it. You know what I'm saying? Thanks. Thank you, Adbar. Again, probably May. So you're gonna continue to get this content on the Facebook channel, but in either late April or early May, everything is gonna start changing. YouTube, in Patreon, so you can become a member of my the Patreon. That way that I can start being able to give away more prizes and stuff on my Patreon. Man, that'd be awesome. I could be able to start giving away different items and stuff like that, like Funko Pops, especially when a lot more of this Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki series and stuff like that going out, you know, and getting prizes and stuff for you guys who wants to watch, who keeps up with the show and wants to be able to watch the show. You're going to be able to do that. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. All you got to do is hit the bell notification. Whenever I go live, you subscribe, hit the bell notification. It tells you every time I go live, on my reviews and everything I do on the podcast. Make sure you guys are checking this out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Speaker Radio, or wherever you listen to your podcast at, because the audio version is still going over to iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen to the Drake Mac Podcast Show, and on SoundCloud. I keep forgetting this is on SoundCloud too. But anyway, thank you so very much. Thanks, Akbar. You know, you're the homie. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody who stopped in and checked out my review of Coming to America. And I will catch you guys later. You know what it is, man. You know I love y'all. Peace and shalom to everyone.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man, Drake Mac, with another episode of the Drake Mac Podcast Show.